I am personally constantly amazed at how much these animals can eat. These pigs here, these little suckers, let's say each of them is about 100 pounds. Well, Ted there, he's on the small side, even though he's got the biggest balls. If I get hey, big guy, if I get 2 50-gallon drums and throw everything in there, the whole entire thing full of produce, they'll have that eaten in about like 2 days. No problem. That's 100 gallons of produce. I mean, that's amazing. Me personally, like, if I was feeding a family of 5 and I was able to keep that stuff fresh the whole time, and we were just eating nothing but all produce, it would take 5 humans at least a month to eat that much. I mean, maybe 3 weeks, okay? But still, they can go through it in 2 days and not even flinch. Now, through the winter months and stuff, I've been trying to work on these little produce bed, or these little mulch pits right here. I just throw the stuff in there that the animals don't like. Pigs don't like any citrus fruits. I don't know why. They might be too spicy. They don't like onions. They don't like any kind of peppers. So I've been throwing in these 1, 2, 3 mulch pits right here, all that stuff, and then just covering it up with leaves and letting it mulch down. Try to make some good compost out of it. But also, I've been throwing in there like peaches, plums, and other stone fruits and stuff. So hopefully, after they've gone through the winter and they get cold like they need to, then maybe in the spring I'll get some seedlings off that and be able to plant some peach trees and stuff. Anyways, these rabbits really blow my mind because, okay, I got this whole milk crate full of food. I got apples, carrots, lettuce and stuff in there, corn, everything. Okay, if I throw this entire crate of food in there, they'll have that gone by tomorrow. I mean, look how big they are. It's ridiculous. I just can't believe how much they can eat and not put on any weight. I mean, as far as pigs go, yeah, if you feed pigs a crap ton, they end up getting pretty big. But rabbits don't get any bigger, and my rabbits, for some reason, are not reproducing. Oh, Lino there, that's the one on the right. He's a male, and she's a female, the one, the albino back there. I don't have a name for her yet, but they screw all the time, constantly. And I've had them together for probably like 3 or 4 months now, and she hasn't swelled up or anything. I don't know if she's even pregnant. But anyways, that's what I'm keeping them for, is to try to get them pregnant and multiplying and stuff, so they can make some babies, and eventually I'll have some rabbit meat around here. But one of the other things I wanted to go over was what I thought was pretty cool, the overwintering of crops. This is garlic here in this bed, and we've had a pretty mild winter. I don't know if this would be the case if it was a heavy winter, but at least right now, this garlic is all still alive. And this garlic too, it's growing good. Garlic is a really useful crop. It's not only food, but it's also medicine. It's really good for you to eat. Not to mention the amount of awesome flavor that it has, but some of the other stuff that we're going to have coming back next year is elderberries. I had a bunch of Jerusalem artichokes planted there. Those should be coming back. But I thought this was interesting. These onions here, I planted these just as little green onions that I got from the produce barrels. And I thought they had died, but as you can see, they're still alive. And they're actually ending up producing pretty decent little bulbs. So that's one cool thing that I didn't plan on. As for the backhoe work that was going on out here, I've been talking to a couple buddies, and from everything I've seen online, but anyways, my buddy said, man, you shouldn't be able to get a backhoe stuck. So either I don't know what I'm freaking doing, which is quite possible. I was probably missing something very crucial, you know, or this is just a little bit muddier than most sites, but I probably need to take some more lessons and figure out what the hell's going on. But see, we got these stumps uprooted now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we got probably 8 or 9 of them uprooted. This is the last one we were working on, and we got quite a substantial rain. As you can see, that's where the water table's at now. I mean, it would be very easy to dig a pond over here because this clay soil really just does not drain well. But when we were digging this, there was only water in like the bottom 1 inch of it. Now it's probably got a foot of water in it. But yeah, over here's where the last spot we got stuck was like, let's see, where is that? So much. Oh, here it is. Yeah, this is the freaking disaster zone where we got stuck last. And I tried all kinds of techniques, man. We tried putting logs underneath there. We tried lifting it up with the backhoe and turning it. And then eventually we were trying to go out that way to get onto our road. But eventually we just decided that we wouldn't be able to make it that way. So we had to chain off to this tree and with the backhoe and pull it. Then we chained off to that one, then we chained off to that one, then we went and bought more chain and chained off to one out in the field there, and was able to get over there onto my neighbor's road, which was I was kind of stressed out about it because my neighbor's got a gate up there at the front, and he lives in Tulsa, and I didn't have no way to get a hold of him, and we ended up having to cut his damn chain so we could get that thing returned to the store on time, not get charged an extra day for it. So that was kind of a pain in the ass, kind of a lesson learned. We're not going to do any more backhoe work out here until it has dried up, because obviously I probably don't know how to drive a backhoe good enough to be a badass, and it is muddier than shit. Even right now I'm sinking in the ground. Here's the first spot we got stuck. But see, after we get this this shop built over here, I'd like to come through here, and all right through here where this water is pooling up, it's kind of a depression. I'd like to kind of dig that out and fill it up with gravel so that water can flow and flow over here into this little depression, which right now looks like a pond, but it's probably only like 5 or 6 inches of water at the most, except for where I've already tested and dug it out. But I'd like to get in here with the backhoe and just dig this out as deep as possible, 5, 6, 7 feet, and open it up a little bit more, get rid of some of these scrub trees that are around here, and use this as a little retention pond just for this zone here, so that I'll have a water supply, because this is where I want to build my cob house, over here in this clearing. And it'd be nice to have a little water supply close by, and plus we could use all the clay and everything possibly to build the house out of. So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. Yeah, the mother oak tree sure is looking pretty today. Them rocks are just swinging that we got hanging up there. I'm actually gonna take a little time to climb up this thing today. You can kind of see some of the rocks. Some of the other videos I did, couldn't really see how the rocks were hanging. See, this is what I was talking about. See, I think that one's my handiwork there. Most of these are my handiwork, but I like to get other people out here too. Let them hang in their rocks up too. I like that one. That's somebody else's, but it's pretty cool how it's sitting there spinning. This tree is actually exceptionally easy to climb. Now that I finally put a little pallet ladder down there, once you get to these first branches, I mean, it's easy going from there. I imagine this would probably be quite the insurance liability since we always walk through here. We got these sharp, pointy rocks hanging hanging by thread, but none of them have fallen down yet. I'm not sure what kind of thread that is that I use, but it doesn't seem to rot, so it must be nylon or something. Here's one of the higher rocks up here, up on the upper branches. Pretty sure that's me, but I mean, it's kind of interesting to think about. These rocks must be sitting out here just spinning left and right all the time, whether somebody's out here looking at them or not. Kind of cool. This up here is the crow's nest. This is where I come and talk to God whenever I want rain to come, or whenever I'm going through a hard time. Closest I can get to God right now on my property. See, over there's the concrete plant. Over there the water tower. You can kind of look this way and see that there is another taller tree. I'm not sure if that's on my property or just beyond it, but that tree is pretty tall up there. Then over there's the pond. Real pretty this time of year. Actually, all times of year it's real pretty. Over there's where I keep the goats. But it's just a beautiful winter day. I don't know if climate change is real or not, but sure is warm for the middle of freaking January. It's like 50 degrees out here. So I was just trying to show y'all from my perspective, like what it's like to be out here on the land, and just wanted to extend an invitation to anybody who wants to visit and come out here and maybe get their hands dirty and help me out a little bit. Got a lot of plans, not a lot of manpower right now. I'm sure we could work out a good situation, but I'd love for anybody to come who's interested, and especially towards the springtime. We should, I've already got 2 RVs, you know. I'd love to let you guys stay in the RVs that I got and check it all out. But just try to get a hold of me, you know, if you're interested, and even if you don't want to come out. My passion is just trying to help people get back to the earth and get closer to their roots and everything like that. So on the ice storm tour video that I did, this is right where my camera dropped in the water, and that's where it kind of cut off at. But we're gonna continue today, walking up around the other side of the property. Kind of show you guys. You can probably hear all that noise over there. These goddamn concrete guys are busy making concrete, I guess is what they do over there. But over through here, there's a really nice section of woods that just needs to be managed. Need to go through there and cut down a bunch of trees and use it for firewood and building wood and growing mushrooms on. And then my property goes all the way over there, almost to the concrete plant. I think it's like 15 or 20 feet off of theirs. Then through here, this is a nice little section. There's actually a lot of black cherry trees in here, and persimmon trees, and some of the only honey locust trees on the property, which black locust and honey locust are both really valuable as a dense firewood that does not decompose, and valuable as making pegs and stuff when you're doing whole round log construction and stuff like that. Over here, there's another wilderness area over here. This is actually where the Earth Shrine is back through all that. I don't usually come in from this side, coming from the other side. But as you can see, this all has a bunch of honeysuckle grown on it. And then here, some of these trees here are honey locust trees. And just a bunch of brambles, everything else like that. See, here's honey locust pods. But these ones actually don't have any seeds in them, unfortunately. The interesting thing about this property is it's not square or rectangular or anything. It's almost like a U shape, because this is the people we bought the property from, and their property line comes right down here, then goes over there back towards where my mushroom lab is going to be, and cuts up that way. So it kind of takes a chunk out of the front piece of the property. But over here, we're still on my property. That's where the fence is. That's where the property line is. We got a bunch of wild plum trees. Some people call them goose plums, but this is actually the first trail that we cut in here to the property. Me and my buddy Billy Brown came through here, and this was actually before we had chainsaws, and we just came through here with hand saws and an axe, made this path. This path is called Cedar Trail. That actually needs to be cleaned up. That wasn't on there. We had a pretty good trail here, but see, we called it Cedar Trail because there's these cedars here that I cleaned up pretty nicely. But keep walking this way. This is actually where I found morels, is back here on my property, and thought that was kind of interesting because I've always hunted for morels in ravines and gullies where sycamore trees are growing. But there isn't any sycamore trees on the whole entire property. There's actually just over there where they're growing, they're underneath elm trees. This is the fire shrine here. Every time there's somebody that I take somebody through here, or every time I walk through here on my own, I add another rock to this fire pit here. Just kind of show my respect to the element of fire. And over here you can see, probably looks like a serial killer lives here, but these are actually dog and coyote skulls that I found here on the property. And I just put those there because I associate dogs with the element of fire. But as you can see, I've done a little bit of work here on this side of the property. Even though this is like the most distant point of the whole property, there's a lot of rocks that are growing right up on the surface. And I've kind of took some time to pile them up, so if I ever want to harvest them or use them for anything good, I've kind of got a couple of different piles through here. This stand of woods over here is probably the most high potential stand of timber that we have. Like I'd say 70% of these trees in here are hickory. So even though a lot of them need thinned out, you can see how straight they are. A bunch of them are just really straight. See, like that, that's a really good hickory. It's straight, even though it splits up there. It grows a lot better than oak as far as harvesting for timber and stuff like that. Hey, this is an elm tree here, but this one's actually pretty straight too. So this whole side of the property, I just like to come through and thin it out a little bit and harvest some of the wood, use it for building materials. But it's actually pretty nice to walk through because there's no vines or brambles or anything like that. We're on a real good downhill slope right here too. It'd be a good spot for making swales, except for the fact that the rocks are really close to the surface here. And I think this area over here is really rocky, but that's also a benefit because you can use rocks for building things. So I'm gonna cut out here to the, oh, this here's a black cherry tree right there. Pretty good one. They usually don't grow that straight. But see, it's so close to a hickory tree, which is even straighter, and I'll probably end up cutting that one down and harvesting it. But, yeah, just figured I'd complete the winter tour for everybody. And, oh, yeah, here's 3 black cherry trees growing right all connected like that. See, I can tell from the bark right now, but in the spring, they're one of the first trees to flower. You can really tell then. Yeah. Out here on the front of the property by the road, this is where these guys came through and ran a bunch of fiber optic for it's called Bolt, but it's just like a local fiber optic deal for a really fast internet. And they actually came through without even saying anything to me. I guess it's eminent domain, but tractored all along the front of my property here. But the good thing is they turned up a bunch of rocks, so I'll be able to do some of my rock beds and tire walls and stuff like that out here. But just figured I'd finish out the winter tour for everybody who is still on the edge of their seat, and hopefully you guys stay with me, and we'll see how everything turns out in the spring.